The Beitbridge Highway. Is this the road to nowhere? This is one of the most important roads we have, but it's also one of the worst and most dangerous. How many times have we seen these headlines? Beitbridge Highway dualization project to begin soon. Beitbridge Chirundu Road dualization start in March. Harare Beitbridge Highway dualization to start this month. Work starts on Harare Beitbridge dualization. These are actual newspaper headlines over the year alone. Why is this road such a big deal? Well, this is the most economically significant road. It is part of the North-South corridor. We're a landlocked country. This road links us and countries like Zambia to the Indian Ocean. We're talking ports like Durban and Richards Bay. The Beitbridge border post itself is the busiest board in the region. 640, that's the number of local trucks that pass through Beitbridge every day. 15,000, that's the number of travelers that pass through the border post per day. Every day there are up to 100 buses and 2,000 small vehicles that go through there. A big number of these trucks, buses and cars use the Beitbridge Highway. So you get the picture. This is a really busy road, but it's in bad shape. You want to know why? When this road was built, it was meant to last just 20 years, but it has been in use now for almost 60. That's right, it is 3 times over its expiry date. And that's why it is so bad. It's narrow, it has potholes, it has very sharp edges. If you're on a bus and there's a truck or bus coming your way, you hold your breath. You grab your rosary. You start calling on your church's prophet. It is that bad. And a lot of accidents on this road are side swipes. There just isn't enough space. So what's the solution? Build a brand new road, right? Simple. Well, it seems it's not so simple. It's been 15 years since we first heard of a contract to rebuild this road. Here's what has happened. Back in 2003, a group of 14 local contractors got a contract to work on this road. But there was a big fight between government and the companies. On one hand, the government accused the contractors of failing to raise the money for the project. On the other hand, the consortium accused government officials of demanding bribes. The government cancelled the contract. The consortium went to court. This meant that no other company could get the contract until this was all sorted out. So, the job was never done. But in 2012, the government announced that a company from Australia called Geiger International was now going to build the road. Geiger would be working with a Chinese company called China Harbour Engineering Company. We were told that the road would cost $2 billion. Not so sure about that price tag, however. We have seen longer and better roads in other countries, costing a whole lot less too. Well, it took another 4 years before that deal was signed. But after that, nothing happened. In 2017, we saw former President Mugabe at a groundbreaking ceremony for the road. And we figured, hey, finally, that road is going to get done. But still, nothing happened. Now in 2018, what happens next? The government cancels that contract. They say that Geiger, doesn't have enough money. So the deal is given to another company from China called the Anhai Foreign Economic Construction Group Limited. Still, nothing happens. Now we're told that this Chinese company isn't too happy with the deal. The company was supposed to build the road and get its money back from the money that we pay from toll gates over the 25 years. But because we're not paying forex at toll gates, this company figures it isn't going to get its money back. So now the government is thinking, why don't we just cancel that and give the deal to our own companies to do the job? So we're right back to where we started in 2003. But let's see how they do. We've been campaigning on this show for local companies to get mega deals too. In Zimbabwe, we like telling ourselves that we are educated. Well, what's the point of that if we can't even build our own roads, right? Well, here's a chance to prove what we can do. We've got engineers, surveyors, transport experts, builders, and contractors. Here's their chance. Instead of paying $2 billion to a Chinese company to take back to Beijing, the money stays here. We don't even need to dualize the road right away. We can widen it. We can build overtaking zones. Far too many lives are being lost on this road every single day. This is not just any road, it is a national emergency. The fuel queues just won't go away. In fact, they seem to be getting longer on some days. But why is this happening? Well, this was always going to happen. 2 reasons. As a country, we're using more fuel than we ever have before, and we're paying more and more for it. Here's how it's all gone down. Between January and June this year, the amount of fuel we use went up by 24%. Now, over the same period, world oil prices have gone up. In January, oil was $66 a barrel. Today, it is $88 a barrel. You might think all that political drama going down in Saudi Arabia has nothing to do with it. But it does. Oil prices could go higher and higher. Now, what does this mean for Zimbabwe? It means our fuel import bill is going to keep going up. We're buying more and more fuel at prices that are getting higher and higher. At the start of the year, we were paying about $35 million for petrol every month. In June, that bill had gone up to 54 million. For diesel, the bill had gone up from 70 million in February to 112 million bucks in June. But here's the problem. While the bill for fuel is going up, the amount of money coming from the RBZ has not changed. For a while now, the RBZ has been allocating just about 20 million a week for fuel. While this was enough at the start of the year, it's no longer enough now. Every day we use about 2.5 million litres of diesel and 1.5 million litres of petrol. But this is going up every day. Over the past 10 years, we have spent about $5 billion importing cars into this country. We're importing cars every day, which means all these cars need fuel. If we had a better working public transport system, maybe we wouldn't need so many cars. And because we haven't invested in solar, a lot of the money is being spent on diesel for our generators and for a lot of things that we need to do in farming and factories. A lot of our money is going to fuel. In fact, we spend 40% of all of our forex on fuel. 40%! 10 years ago, we were spending just about 25% on fuel. So all this goes down to how we are managing our economy. We just are not making enough forex, but we're spending a lot of it. Between February and June this year, we spent over $1 million on grapes. Yes, grapes. We paid over $200,000 to import apples in June. That's $200,000 for apples in just 1 month. And to make it worse, a lot of companies are stocking up on fuel because they don't know how long this shortage is going to last. So this only makes the shortages worse. Now, we've spoken about this before here on this show. As long as we spend more forex than what we are making, we'll end up with fuel queues. We'll always have the headache of where to allocate forex, fuel, medicines, wheat, or debt payments. This crisis should force everyone in the economy to take a hard look at what we are doing. Do we need everything we are importing? Are we doing enough to help other companies export? Until then, we are always going to be stuck in fuel queues.